Funny thing is like I tried to make this video twice and it ended up becoming like too long. So I really want to like try to talk in less time. So I'm doing this again for like third time talking about the same thing. So wrong? What's wrong with my voice? What's wrong with this? Already wasting time again. So I'll tell you quickly. Yesterday what happened is like something just funny happened. Yesterday I had to like pick few clothes, and basically I was having this process of like, should I do it online, should I do it offline, what should I do, how should I do, selecting and all that thing. So I was having this process happening from like a few days. So finally I ended up getting those clothes in home after all that process, and then after ending it yesterday, what happens, like I ended up finally trying those clothes. So the thing is, I was trying those clothes, right? And there was this, and I was just casually trying it because I had to like keep few of them and I have to keep like few back. And then I'm like very picky because I usually like select clothes only like once in a while. So I have to be picky so that everything is like proper, because I'm probably not like doing this again. So, so what happened is that I was doing all this process, and there was this one certain piece of cloth which for some reason when I saw that I specifically liked it for some reason. What is wrong with my voice? So this certain piece of cloth I really liked and I really wanted that. What is wrong with my voice? Oh, my voice keep changing like every half second. Anyway, so I wanted this like what? I wanted this I wanted this certain piece of cloth, and that cloth was like somehow it's just like something I saw and I just wanted it. It's like that kind of feeling. There was no like specific reasoning or anything behind why I was like I want this. I just what kind of like DJ is happening. So I wanted this, and then because I don't know, it just felt right. There was not like an actual reason. And first of all, it's like I was trying to see which one does fit right, and then all that the usual process you do when you're like buying clothes. What? So I was doing that, and then this certain piece of code, like cloth, certain piece of cloth, really like stood out to me. What happened is like later on I figured out that that was like defaulted the most out of the other clothes. Like default in the sense of a little bit of here and there, because I needed something which was like perfect, and I'm picky again, so that was a problem for me. I was selecting each and every like tiny detail, so in like everything. Like I said, because I don't do is like often. So I was doing that, and then it was totally defaulted compared to all the other clothes. So I just like kept it in the section of I am going to return this one. So I like ended up like seeing all the other ones trying and like seeing how the fit is, how the look, how etc everything. For some reason I did not like felt the kind of spark I felt when this certain piece of cloth I was wearing which was defaulted. So I took it back and tried it again. It was definitely still defaulted a lot more compared to other ones. But somehow it felt perfect for some reason. Not only that it was looking amusing to me personally, but then this is like a personal choice, but that doesn't matter. The point of me is like I really like wanted it, but because of that default, I was just like, what should I do? Even though I felt like this is like more perfect than like other ones. And other ones had like a tiny bit of default here and there, but this specific one, it's just like my heart was like set on to this for some reason. Even though I was like, this is defaulted, don't do this. So I had like a second round of like rewearing and not rewearing, not rewearing. What is that even a word? Just the process of selecting clothes. So I ended up selecting rest of the other clothes, and then this one again like again I have to the specific one which was defaulted, but my heart was set on it. I kept in like within the other set of clothes, and all of that clothes was like laid down like that. Now I had to pick like one out of all this, because I was done selecting the rest and I have to give like rest of them like back. So I was like, what should I do? So this one was clearly not perfect, but it looked perfect. It felt perfect, but it was not. And then I again, literally, I had to, just for that one piece of cloth, I had to redo everything again for like the second time. In the last, I tried everything, and I was like, even though the other had less cloth, it just felt like okay, okay. But then this certain one was like, this is cool. This is cool. That's what I thought. So I ended up taking the defaulted one in the end. I don't know. I just liked how it was overall, even though it was defaulted. I hope like defaulted is the right word, right? Or in the end of the video, I'll figure out that's the wrong. But it doesn't matter anyway. So I did all that. I packed everything else. I kept everything else aside. I was like, this still ended up getting like 6 minutes long. So I ended up packing everything else. I kept everything aside. I put it in like box. I'm going to return this. And then in the last, I was again feeling like, what should I do with this proof? Because it was like still defaulted, right? So I was like figuring out how can I deal with this somehow, because it was perfect, but it was defaulted. So I was like, should I try again like third time to select everything? But then by that time I was so like annoyed by the process of like just like wearing and checking and like the fit and everything. I was like, I don't want to do all this again. It just felt like pain in the ass. I thought about it, but then I was like, I'm not doing all this. I just kept everything aside. It doesn't matter. Because like rest of them also had like a tiny bit of flaws here and there. It was not like neither of that was perfect. But then this specific cloth was like my heart was only set out to it because it stood out, even though it was more flawed. In the end, I was like, I don't want to do all that process again of selecting the clothes and everything. So I was like, so I just kept this one in the end, no matter how it was, because it was, first of all, it was perfect. It was not like bad. It's just like a tiny bit of flawed thingy that was happening with that cloth. So apart from all that, I was done with all this process. I was sitting, and in the end, I thought something. I thought about something. So this is something. This is the important part of this of the me making this video. So so I thought, if there is like this piece of clothing which was clearly like more defective than like defected, is that right word? More defected like other pieces of the clothes, but I ended up selecting this in the end. I just ended up selecting it because I just selected after like all that process of a process. So like it was definitely default, right? It was, I could have just not took it, and I was considering not taking it at the very last moment, but I ended up still taking that because it was still like felt perfect. And like I said, my heart got set to it in the first moment. I saw that certain piece of cloth, and I was like, okay. So I thought, if this piece of cloth has like chance in life, why is it like I cannot? Because like, see, the thing is, because all this process, I just thought like I have a lot of disadvantages honestly compared to advantages. I think personally in the things that I want to do at this current moment, because like my life was just like that, is what it was honestly not my fault. It's just how my life was. Like me considering doing all these things, like these are like the biggest, most like an Honduras step. I just tried using like a very big word. But yeah, it was a big thing. So a big word, yep. So yeah, a piece of clothing has a chance to get selected out of a more perfect ones, then why is it like I cannot have a chance in like my own life? That's what I thought about when I was done with all this process. So that's why I made this video, just to like tell this certain thing that I thought about. So yeah, that's all. Nothing like more. big conversation that for today, I guess. So yeah, a piece of cloth has a chance in life. Why is it like I cannot? I think this is how like I always thought like when I'm watching such things as like survival shows or like other certain things or even anything like casually, even like movies and any languages, it doesn't really matter. I see things in like multiple languages, so it doesn't matter. The matter was like I always thought why certain people get selected and why certain people did not. I think it just happens. For me, this specific cloth got selected because first of all, I was tired by the process, and then I was also tired by the thought of reprocessing because it takes energy and everything. I think that's how like outside world might be working. That's what I thought about. So the conclusion of everything is like they still ended up becoming 10 minutes long. I'm so bad at talking. I cannot be myself. There are other people who can like quickly talk about things in like two sentences, and then there's me. I have to make like a whole as like novel book or something. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, that's my point. So go and do your work. There are like defected piece of clothing which get chance in life. So I am hoping you will get as well. But before that, like go and do your work so that you do have even like a chance of like going outside. I mean, this is something very like basic. You should probably like already know about this before me saying it, but in case you don't, because I know you're stupid. So yeah, go and do your work. The next time I post something like this, I hope like I actually did something instead of just like talking like a stupid person, because talking is becoming common these days. Go and do your work. I just like compare myself to a piece of clothing in this video, and yeah, I did that. Inside thoughts. So I'm going. This video ended up becoming exactly as long as the earlier one, and I did not want it to become like that long, and it ended up becoming. So yeah, go and do your work. Go and do your work. Sayonara.